Motorcycles. They are fun, they're awesome, they're fast, they sound great, they look great, and if you're going to use one of these to get yourself from A to B, you're going to get there really quick and you're going to look great doing it. But if you don't have a motorcycle license and you don't have a driving license, which one should you get first? Let's get to it.
So let's say that you already have an interest in motorcycles, you know, you're a young lad, you're a young lady, and you're already thinking about buying a motorcycle, getting a motorcycle license and all that stuff. But you don't have a driving license yet. So what's the most practical thing? Do you forego getting a motorcycle license, which is what you really want to do, or instead do you go down the car route, get your driving license done first, and then later on in your life look at getting a motorcycle then? Now, I was posed with the exact same dilemma. The only difference with me is I rode a scooter before I rode a motorcycle or before I drove a car. And so for me, it was a little bit easier for me to justify going down the motorcycle route first, and that's what I did. I did my motorcycle license first, and then the following year I did my driving license. And it's quite an interesting argument, because I can understand why you'd want to get your driving license first. Cars are more practical, you know, if you make a mistake in a car, then the car is going to protect you, and so you do feel a little bit safer in a car. But there are a few counter arguments. The first one is that when you're learning to ride a motorcycle, you realize that you haven't got a shell around you to protect you, so it makes you far more aware of the road. It makes you far more aware of your environment and your surroundings. And I don't know, I can't say this for sure, but I kind of feel like if I'd done my driving license first and I got experience driving a car first, then I don't know if I'd have the same attitude to roadcraft or road behavior as I actually do now, from, you know, spending all those years riding a motorcycle, or at least the first 2 years of my driving career riding motorcycles. I was 17 when I did my motorcycle license, and I was 18 when I did my full riding license. So that's just to give you a little bit of context as to where I came from and what my background is in motorcycles. And I think from many perspectives it's difficult for a younger person. Because you don't have that much disposable income unless you have a job. But, you know, if you're a student or what have you, even if you're in a part-time low-income job, justifying the cost of a motorcycle might not be worth it for a lot of younger people. But then by the same token, cars are more expensive to run and maintain. So even if you spent, say, £2,000 on a car or motorcycle, the car is going to cost you more to maintain anyway. So you could say that getting a motorcycle first is actually the better option, because it fits better within your budget. So there's kind of arguments both ways, and I'm not going to try and convince you of either way. I'm just going to kind of lay out some of my experiences and some guidelines for you to follow depending on your personal circumstances. So say if you are a 17-year-old like me and you're posed with this dilemma between focusing your attention on driving a car or riding a motorcycle. Well, riding motorcycles is a little bit more accessible, because all you have to do is a CBT, and then if you're 17 you can start riding 125s, and so you can get quite a lot of experience riding 125s just that way before doing a riding license, whereas you can't really do that in a car. You have to be with someone in the car as they teach you how to drive and things, and it can be a little bit more tedious, whereas at least on a motorcycle you can kind of experience how to ride on your own. You don't need someone else with you to to supervise you almost. And so again, you kind of get that freedom straight away, that sense of freedom of riding. You kind of get that right away, right when you start, which you don't really get in a car. At least not at the beginning. Another consideration is where you live. If you live in a big city and you want to get away from public transport, then getting a motorcycle or even a scooter would be a really good option for you. And I think it's a good option for most people living in cities to get on motorcycles. It just makes so much sense. With all the congestion and all that, getting around it really does help you out. And it saves you a lot of time commuting and what have you. So that's another consideration. Where you live might play a big part in your decision. But it's very, very difficult for me to recommend getting a driving license first, because of course that's not the experience that I had, and for me it was a natural progression. And you might find that it's a natural progression just to go straight into driving cars. It's entirely up to you at the end of the day. But I do think that you get a lot more road awareness if you get on a motorcycle first. Honestly, you just do. And here's another thing. If you have an accident on a motorcycle, it's probably going to be cheaper for you to fix the bike than it is a car. And if you are a bit more of a hands-on kind of person, then you're probably going to be able to fix the bike yourself. If it's just fairing damage, or I don't know, maybe one of your levers has fallen off, maybe your clutch lever or your brake lever, you'll be able to fix it yourself, and it'll be significantly cheaper. So, but having said that, you know, if you're not very good at staying upright on two wheels, then you're probably gonna have more drops than you might like, and of course you can't really drop a car, can you? So I suppose you know, again, the argument kind of to and fro's on both sides of the coin. But I would say that getting a car is more practical. Of course it is, you know. You want to be able to take your mates out on road trips and things. You're not going to be able to do that on a motorcycle. A motorcycle is for your own enjoyment rather than for the enjoyment of others. For your own personal freedom. On motorcycles, there aren't any distractions. When you're a younger driver or a younger rider, distractions are quite prevalent. I mean, if you're taking all of your friends out in your car, they're going to be chatting to you, they're going to be showing stuff on their phones to you and things like that. You know, they're just going to be generally stupid. Whereas on a motorcycle, you can just learn to concentrate on all the things that are important, rather than focusing on whatever your bloody mates are saying in the back of your car. And I think, again, that concentration that you get filters down into driving. And I don't know if it would the other way around. Like I said, I haven't had that experience of you know, experiencing driving first before riding. My girlfriend, she started driving first, but she did it quite late in her life so far. I think she was maybe 27 or 28 when she first got her driving license. maybe 26, and she's only just started riding in the last year, so maybe I can ask her on what her opinion is. Oh, by the way, she is going to be narrating some videos in the future. She's going to be doing some videos about her experiences as a beginner rider, just to kind of maybe give you beginners out there, you novices, a bit of an insight into what it feels like to ride a motorcycle for the first time, what it was like, what the learning curve was like, the different the different attitudes you should have on a motorcycle compared to a car, all that kind of stuff. So if you are a lady or even a guy looking to get into riding, then she might be able to provide you with some really neat insights. So yeah, make sure you subscribe, as those videos are going to come very, very soon in the future. So yeah, if you want to hear what it's like from a lady's perspective, then yeah, make sure you subscribe. Anyway, motorcycles are, they're just amazing. I'm not really going to have a debate motorcycles versus cars. That's kind of another video altogether. But it is an interesting debate, it is an interesting argument which one you should go for first. I'm pretty sure your mums and dads will probably say, no, get a car first. Because that's what my mum and dad did. But I didn't want to. Yeah, I went against the grain on that one. Again, because parents, they're going to share your concerns, you know. Even, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you turn around and say to your mum and dad, oh, I want to get into riding motorcycles, they're probably going to argue with you about it. What the hell was that all about? Oh, the gypsies are out again. Oh, look, here we go, there's some more, look. There you go, you see that? Oh dear. Oh wow, how silly. And I'm here wearing a hoodie and it started raining. Great, maybe I should start looking to end the video now. But I would personally recommend, just as a kind of concluding thought here, I would personally recommend doing motorcycle first. Get yourself that road awareness, you know, that any mistake that you make could be your last mistake, and then try and have that same attitude when you get into a car. It does make a difference. I think it certainly does change the way how you think, whether it's driving or riding, whatever. It does make you a more aware road user, I think is the right way to put it. There are so many drivers out there that just don't care. They don't give a shit. They just do whatever the hell they want as they're driving, and it's dangerous. I mean, like, how many videos have you guys seen online where a driver makes a mistake, potentially puts a rider at risk, and then the car driver starts blaming them for doing something wrong? They start giving them the finger, they start honking their horns at them. Bloody ridiculous. And I wonder if those people were riders themselves, how they would feel afterwards. Because I bet you, if a motorcyclist makes a mistake to a car driver, for the most part, they're going to apologise, they'll admit fault straight away, without question, if they make a mistake, because they know they shouldn't make those kinds of mistakes. Anyway, you guys get what I mean, I hope, and I hope it's given you a bit of advice and a bit of insight into what you should do if you're in the same predicament as I was. And I thought it was actually my girlfriend that came up with the idea for this video, and I did think it was quite an interesting topic, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. If you have, make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe as usual. It really does help us out a lot, so please make sure you subscribe and support this very young channel if you enjoy the content. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.